leads 2-1.
We'll get these questions started with Kai Carlin.
Hey, what's going on, Tobias? Can I just real quick get your thoughts on just you as a passer? It just kind of seems like you have just continued to come along like as a passer, just as a player.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been a part of my game that I'm continuing to work on. But, honestly, it just comes from just making the correct play. Obviously reading the defense a little bit better throughout my career. I've gotten better at that year after year. And just being able to make the right play, whether it be, tonight you saw a lot of those lobs for the way that they were playing pick and rolls and just putting pressure on the defense. That's the biggest thing right there.
And can I just get your thoughts on Ben? It just kind of seemed like in the second half he really took another step forward in terms of his offense. He was looking more for scoring. So what was the message to him at halftime? I know Coach was talking about being more aggressive and stuff like that.
Yeah, just taking advantage of some of the mismatches that were presented out there. They have a versatile group defensively, but there's certain times where he can use his speed and his power out there to really back his way in and get to the cup. So I thought he just did a great job of that in the third quarter of using that aggressiveness and getting in the paint, making the right plays, right kick-out plays, finishing as well. So I thought he did a great job of that tonight.
Thanks, T.
Dave McMenamin.
Tobias, what stood out other than Ben, perhaps, to you in that third quarter run you guys went on? I think you started the quarter 8 for 8 from the field, and it almost was reminiscent of game one where it looked like you flipped the switch and were a dominant team.
Well, really, I mean, we got stops, and that was the biggest thing for us. We were able to get stops and then push the ball up the floor and really get into transition. I mean, all year long, it's no surprise. Transition has been our best offense. And we know as a team where our defense goes, that's where our offense rises to that level as well. So when we're locked in defensively, getting stops, all connected as one group out there, we're even tougher offensive team because of our speed and size. So, that's really the thing that stood out the most in that third quarter.
Rich Hoffman.
Hey, Tobias, probably the one negative of the night was that Danny got injured, and, I saw that he was in a boot on the sidelines. What was he like? Was he still in good spirits, or was he not in a good mood?
No, he's always going to be in good spirits. That's just Danny. But we're hoping for the best for him, and that he'll be all right, and that he can get some treatment, some rest as well, and be ready whenever he is ready. So we'll just play it by ear, really. And
Ferk got to start the second half. He had a big game. I guess just in general, like, who steps up if Danny's out for a little bit?
Yeah, tonight, Ferk was out there and he was balling. I think that's the thing with the playoffs and the beauty of the playoffs and being on a team like ours is, it could be a different guy every night who brings that added effort. And you saw in the first half Ferk get hot out there and got his swag and his confidence shooting a three out there, and he made a big three as well in the fourth quarter. So you just love to see it. He's a guy who works his tail off day in, day out, and I'm happy that the moment came and he really took advantage of it for sure.
Well, we're going to go to one more question, and we will wrap things up with Vincent Goodwill.
Hey, Tobias. Today, as you know, you were announced as one of the 5 finalists for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award. Just curious about your involvement in Philadelphia schools and the social justice movement. Just what motivated you, considering you're not from that area, you're from New York? What was your motivation behind getting so involved?
Oh yeah, thank you. It's a huge honor to be selected in that group with all those guys as well. And for me, obviously education for our youth has been a huge focal point that I like to get involved in. And being that I play in Philadelphia and that's where I live and where I'm at, I want to really get down to the roots of the school system and find out a way that I can make an impact and help the kids out in the Philadelphia area. So education has always been a huge focal point for me and the things that I do in terms of philanthropy. And to be selected as a finalist for that award is an amazing honor for me.
All right, thank you, Tobias.
All right, thanks, y'all. Yep.
Tobias Harris there. Next up is Ben Simmons. Remember, Simmons only had 4 points in Game 2. Phillies win there. Tonight, an efficient 7 of 11 from the field. He had 18 to go with 4 rebounds and 7 assists in Phillies' 127-111 win. Here he is.
Everyone, we will start the questions off with Dave McMenamin.
Hey, Ben, just a two-parter for you. First, I don't think we've spoken to you since after Game 1, so I wanted to get your response to the Defensive Player of the Year award vote.
Yeah, congrats to Rudy. I mean, I don't really. It is what it is. I'm not really concerned about individual awards. I want the championship. So, I mean, that's my goal. Honestly, the goal was never Defensive Player of the Year. It's just go out there and do my job and try to be the best defender in the league, regardless of the awards. But the ultimate goal is a championship, and I still got to do my job at a high level.
And sticking to tonight, Doc told us that he kind of challenged you a little bit at halftime. He felt like you could push the pace more. He was going to operate out of the post through you. And then he said one of the assistant coaches said, like, hey, like he is guarding Trae Young. Like that's a lot. And then Doc said, well, he's young. He can handle it. What did you think of what you did in the second half?
Yeah, I was just trying to push the pace, get in the lanes, find my guys, and stay aggressive, get to the rim, and cause them to obviously foul and get in some rhythm. So I think I did a good job at that second period, the second half. So yeah.
Paul Hudrick.
Hey Ben, we talked all year about you and Joe and your chemistry and how much it's grown. But even kind of throwing Tobias in that mix, how much has that helped you guys? The three of you having that continuity and it kind of like coming all together on a night like tonight.
It's been great. Obviously it's a lot harder to do with three than two. Joel and I have had that chemistry and played in the court for a while now. And then working with Tobias, he's made it easy. He's continued to get better and better, and he's been a great